Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Trader Minute. It's great to have you on board. I'm Carl. Thanks for tuning in this morning. And just take a look at the futures here. Futures this morning down about two. They were down when I first watched it. They were down a little bit more than this, a little bit earlier on this morning. Not much, but really pointing to a very slightly down open at the moment. Which a nice day yesterday, slightly down. Today is it's nothing bearish. There's nothing to react to here, and the slight movements down or the slight movements up really makes for a stronger bullish environment. Okay, so yeah, looking good. As far as our positions go, Bank of America is down about 9 cents right now. Nothing here to react to. There was earnings out of Goldman Sachs this morning. I don't know if you saw those. They beat by 42 cents. The revenues were higher as well. They came in at 8.78 billion versus 7.2 billion. Overall, the estimates were up 22%. Just the high-level numbers there. They're a very nice report. On the other hand, Citigroup was lighter than expected. They were 13 cents less than expected. Their revenues were down slightly at 17.9 billion versus 18.18 billion of the estimate. It's a little bit of a mix there from the two. Overall, not that bad of a number from Citi. It's not a big blowout. That just missed slightly by Citigroup. All right, so let's go and take a look at the economic calendar this morning. We had the consumer price index. Okay, the CPI was in line. Expectations, the consensus at 0.3, and that's what we got, 0.3. Okay, so pretty tame for the month of December. Not a lot there. And then also we had the jobless claims number. Now, excuse me, the weekly jobless claims number is it's a weekly number, so it's not going to be typically it's not going to be a huge market mover. The consensus was 327, the actual 326,000. It was very little changed. And what they say right here, the 4-week average was at 335,000, which is nearly $10,000 below a month ago trend, which points to a moderate improvement for December, from December. So, yeah, the markets didn't react to any of these numbers this morning, but just some of the things out on the calendar. Okay, anything else on the calendar big this week? Well, we got housing starts tomorrow. Nothing really. We got a JOLTS report. Now the new, we'll take a look at this tomorrow, but it's never in the past done much. It's getting a little bit more attention now as the Yellen says that she likes to look at this JOLTS report, but it hasn't been any type of a market mover. Okay. Now looking here at gold futures. And gold is up, trading up slightly this morning. And I'm not seeing them on here. All right, it's way down my list here, sorry. No, all right, I'm sorry. I'm not finding the gold futures there. I just had them up when we first got on here, and they're not there. It's up slightly. The futures on gold's up a little bit slightly this morning, and our position in FCX, it's not all gold anymore. They have a large oil component to it, so they're more diversified that way. But it's going to help a little bit with the gold jumping a little bit this morning. Okay. Some of the other things, and we talked yesterday about the earnings report at CSX, large railroad company, and CSX, they reported in line at 42 cents. That was expectations. They hit 42 cents. The revenues were slightly higher at 3 billion versus the 2.98 billion. It's down about $2 pre-market. I look at CSX here. Yeah, last night it closed around 29, 39, 31. It's down here at 27.51, so just under $2 less this morning. On a little bit of movement out of that. Also, Best Buy and BBY. Its domestic holiday comps fell about a full percent. They also got a downgrade this morning to a perform over at Oppenheimer. You know, it's one of those, what, they did what? Oh, let's downgrade that stock. Uh, and we check a look at Best Buy here. Last night closing just under 38. They're trading down here at about $26 right now. Pretty bearish move here for Best Buy based on some pretty bad holiday numbers. Okay, Solar City. We talk about Solar City in here every now and then. It was initiated coverage by Deutsche Bank, and they gave it a initiated buy with the price target at $90. Okay, Deutsche Bank is pretty well respected out there in the community, and so you'll see a nice little pop today, most likely at a Solar City here. Here it into close last night. Yeah, it's up this morning about $1 from where it closed last night based on this. All right, so the bell's open. Just rang here, so let's go just check things out and see where the market's going to open up. Here's the market. Open up about 2 points down, nothing. We'll see if the buy the dippers come in, but right now there is just a flat open. There's nothing here. Even if it pulls back, it may retest this 1840 mark here in the next little while. That's about where the 7-day moving average is. It might retest that, but overall there's no bearishness, and there's no big events or anything on the calendar that might happen, knock on wood, that might push the market off. It might, without these type of drivers and things in the market, we might see the market just kind of go sideways and maybe slightly up, but it might struggle from going a lot higher here based on just not a lot of information coming out. Now we do in the middle, and we're in the just starting earnings season, so that could be some of the key drivers that might push this market a little bit higher. So CSX, they got a downgrade to a hold over at Stifel Nicholas, yet they were also upgraded to a buy at a company by the name of Argus. So it looks like some position defending going on there, most likely. And then, we've been talking about shippers. DSX, Diana Shipping. We looked at this yesterday. Jeff's been talking about shippers now for about a week. Well, DSX got an upgrade today to an outperform. And last night, GNK, right? We've been looking at GNK, and it's up 3%. It's 8 cents, but 3% is 3%. It's getting a little bit of boost out of this as well. This might be the thing that gets pushed. They're starting to get a little bit of positive attention here, so you might see that this little stock here pop up over 275. So keep an eye on the shipping group. Dry ships, we look at dry ships, they're all getting a little bit of a pop this morning. It's starting to get, the group's starting to get a little bit of attention in here. So we're going to definitely keep a close eye on this group as well. Let's look at our positions. Bank of America down just 4 cents. All right, and then also FCX up about 26 cents this morning. Okay, let's take a look at yesterday's top 3. We had Halliburton. If I can spell this morning. Halliburton this morning up about 2 cents. Okay, just flat at the open, and then also Monsanto flat as well. down 3 cents. All right, so those two positions just opening flat this morning has really the market flat to very slightly down. Okay, other stock we talked about in here, I want to take a look at Yahoo. Now, Yahoo's down about 1.5%. It's dropping back down here to this $40 level. Watch it throughout the day, see if it can't muster up some strength and close up above that 7 there by the end of the day. Okay. And then APC, just opening flat. It's down 13 cents. Nothing there on APC. And then Google. Watching Google pre-market. Yeah, it's about right where it was when I saw it this morning. Pre-market up $1.35. All right, just flat there as well. I mean, it looks like everything's wanting to open flat. Hewlett Packard. Nice chart here on Hewlett Packard. This is a top 3 from Wednesday. I take that back, Tuesday. And they got an upgrade by Bank of America. So our friends there at Bank of America upgraded Hewlett Packard to a buy. So positive news. They're up almost 3% pre-market. So a nice little pop there. If you happen to be in that position, you got a nice little pop in your options this morning. Silver Wheaton from Monday up about just over 1%, 25 cents this morning. Nice little pop. They're moving, as we talked a little while ago about gold and silver, up slightly, getting a little pop this morning. And this has been a pretty well performing stock compared to a lot of the other ones in that area. And then Hershey's this morning just down slightly. It's back down here to the 7-day moving average. What you'd be looking for at this point is a boost higher off of this level, which would be a very positive sign for it. All right, there's always a lot of talk in here about Tesla. Sorry, I didn't have my chat on. So if you're chatting in there. Yeah, snag. I know the feeling. Happens all the time to people. Find what looks good and then just decide not to, and then there it goes. All right, so yeah, well, we catch the next one. Tesla this morning just down slightly, 34 cents. I mean, there's nothing here. It gets this huge pops. It's going to consolidate. That 7's going to catch up with it sometime. If you're looking to get into this, that's what you want to wait for. What I'd like to see here is just have it consolidate, come down to about the 160 level. This would be a great sign. See if this happens. Pulls back to about the 160, maybe take 2 or 3 days down in that range, and then let that 7 catch up with it, and then have a big push up off above 160 and over that 7-day moving average. That's what you'd be looking for here on Tesla to play it higher. And let's see if we can't get that here, maybe early next week sometime. All right. Other news out here. Facebook, they got an upgrade. Price target raised to $63 over at Raymond James, and it's not doing anything. It's down 1%. We'll have to watch this and see by the end of the day if it can close back up there above that 7-day moving average, push above the 57.5 area. That's what you'd be looking for here. It's got a little bit of negative divergence here. A little bit here on the RSI. Is it going on? Let me bring in the vibe. Yeah, a little bit on the MACD. Just we'll have to watch Facebook and see. It's just some early signs. Now they got earnings ahead of them, so that could change really fast. Let's go look at Goldman Sachs. So they had a good number this morning. Goldman Sachs. Again, they beat by 42 cents. Revenues were up over $1 billion, 8.78 billion versus the estimate of 7.62 billion, up 22%. Pulling back about $1.49. And there can be sellers into this kind of news. We saw it, and we'll probably never find out. This is such a heavily traded stock, but was it a Carl Icahn, I believe, when Netflix announced great earnings a while back? Netflix surges, By the end of the day, it pretty much finished negative, and it was announced later on that Carl Icahn was selling into all that strength. Yeah, kind of dirty, but I guess he got what he wanted. And who knows? Who knows really what's going on if it's any negative news out there? But the earnings announcement was very positive on Goldman Sachs, and maybe there's some seller just pushing into it right now, but we'll see where it goes by the end of the day. Thanks, Deb. Okay, also Micron. Talk about Micron in here. Pretty bullish chart. They got an upgrade to a market perform over there at JMP Securities. And so I like the chart. Nice bullish move, big spike higher. And what does it do? Just consolidates sideways, slightly down, maybe sideways. What you'd be looking for an entrance at this point is just a little candle. I don't know if it's going to happen today, maybe, but you're looking for a candle like that. Pop up off the 7 like that, get over the 24 mark, and that's saying that that stock's ready to move. You can see the MACD starting to rise in here. Also got the rock, the rate of change here, rising as well. That's the most likely next move is higher. You could try to anticipate that. I'd like to see if I couldn't wait for that move to get up over that $24 mark and be a great technical signal. Okay, let's see. Let's look at Best Buy this morning. Yeah, ugly. They had some pretty sad holiday numbers comparable to last year. It's down 29%. Ouch. And that's one of those news events you would have never seen coming. It could have gone the other way on some blowout numbers, but it was some pretty bad numbers. And look, it's sold off going into that. Sold off, and then bam, down it goes. Wow, nice, Steve. All right, Steve, you're buying lunch. Thanks. Great trade. CSX. Talked about CSX. They were pretty much in line on their earnings. Overall, they're getting punished here, down about not quite 8%. Down a pretty ugly bearish move. Watch him throughout the day, see if you can't get something out of this. But in the initial reaction here is pretty sad. It doesn't look good here on CSX. And a nice boost here. If they would have beat, it could have really helped out some of the coal stocks, some of those industrials, uh, and some of the material stocks could have gone right along with it. But just an inline report. I think they were expecting a little bit more from CSX. Okay, so let's look at some of the stocks out there that we've been watching here for some trades. Goldman's, General Motors. We need it to hold this 50-day moving average and start pushing higher, get up over that $40 level. It's not doing it. I don't know if it's going to do it today, but we need a push out of that. And they announced a dividend. They got a little bit of reaction out of that, but it hasn't really done much since. And then we looked at this one just a little while ago, but this is G&K, another shipping stock, very inexpensive shipping stock. It's getting a little bit of a boost. It's pulled back off the highs there. Getting over that 275 mark would be a pretty big deal for this stock here on G&K. EWJ, not breaking out. We'll keep an eye on this. Getting up over that 1210 mark would be a pretty big deal. If you can get up over 1210, hold that level, it's likely going to do it. You look at the chart on it, you can see it's got a very nice uptrend. Overall, get rid of that. Overall, it's just got an ascending triangle, a great big long ascending triangle going on here. Next step is higher. That's what the odds are saying, but doesn't look like it's going to do it here in the next little while. It's bound to do it pretty soon. But yeah, Jimmy Tesoro. Too early to say And someone said it well yesterday. It's like catching a falling knife in here. This break to the downside is pretty intense. That's an intense break. You look at the Bollinger Band, it's still there in that